All right, everybody, welcome back. Now, you've heard me talk about this place for a week now, and I am not exaggerating when I said I've eaten there 5 times in 7 days. And it's the hottest new restaurant in the city. It's right on Marion, and it's Loveys Barbecue and Smokehouse. And here we get the president and the VP, of course, Jocelyne Loveys here, and Roger as well. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
Now, this before we get into the whole shebang of the restaurant, this is truly a family affair, is it not?
It is.
Now, how did it all come about? Dive in.
Well, you know, I've been traveling over the years as a salesman, and I've spent a lot of time in the southern states, and 10, 11 years ago got the bug of barbecue and smelt the smoke in the air and said, I got to have some of this.
Now, you had this is actually your home one, right?
That's right. That's where it all started.
Yeah. On
the north side of the tracks and in the backyard in a little pit, and just threw some wood in and experimented and made a lot of mistakes at the beginning, and then I just keep on persevering, and it all comes together.
Well, you're not making any mistakes now, I tell you, because I definitely I haven't had my fill yet. I got to go back. What's the difference between flame barbecuing and smoke barbecuing?
Well, you're talking about grilling in the backyard?
Yeah.
Well, grilling is just a matter of throwing a piece of meat on your grill. We're using propane or a natural gas, and you cook something for 10, 20 minutes, and then you eat it. Whereas when using a vertical or horizontal offset smoker like this, it's low and slow.
Okay.
So we cook at about 225 Fahrenheit, and we'll cook a pork shoulder for about 14 hours. So it's an overnight affair.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's quite
Same with the brisket, and ribs will spend 6 to 7 hours in a pit. So it gets all infused with wood smoke. Then you put your rub on it first, and then into the pit, and then the rub makes a nice little bark once it's cooked, and it gives a lot of flavor to the meat.
And we're going to actually be doing that today, right?
We're going to prep a side of St. Louis style ribs, and we'll show how we do it at the restaurant.
All right. Now, speaking of the restaurant, how many people, Jocelyne, can you handle over there?
We have a capacity of 50 people.
50 people. Now, do you need reservations?
No, not at all. First come, first serve.
Man, there you go. Trust me, get there early. So, you're right there in Marion. What's the exact address?
We are Unit 1 and 2, 208 Marion.
Yeah, and now the feedback has been incredible from the customer. Do you expect a response like this?
Well, we were hoping, but in our wildest dreams, we never thought that it would be the way it is now. You know, but it's coming on really good. But part of the reason for that is that we're very intense about what we make and how it comes out to the customer. Everybody in the kitchen has to taste everything that we make. Whenever a line chief comes on and is ready for their shift, they taste all of the food to make sure that everything is correct. Even the dishwasher has his position to do to make sure that all the dishes come out clean. So everything impacts the experience of the customer when they come in, and we want to make sure that everything in the back end of the restaurant is perfect.
All right. Well, listen, you guys are used to doing this. I've never done something like this as far as the rub. Now, is it a secret family recipe?
No.
Oh, it isn't? Well, there you go. I might get some information out of this one.
You know, rubs change from day to day depending on what kind of mood you're in.
Jocelyne's getting as far away from me as possible.
All right. With rubs, we use paprika, salt, pepper, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, and we make a mix of that. Sometimes you add brown sugar. We try not to add too much sugar into our mixes, into our rubs, because they caramelize and they tend to burn after a short period of time. So we stay off the sugar as much as possible. But every rib that we do, we start in the same fashion. We take off the silver skin in the back. One of the no-nos of barbecuing is to boil ribs. Some people do that so they make it happen quicker.
Okay.
Never boil a rib.
That's a no-no?
That's a no-no, absolutely 100%. Never use liquid smoke when you're barbecuing in your backyard or at home in your kitchen. Always remove the silver skin, because that's the part, if you leave it on, when you're eating your ribs, once they're cooked, it gets stuck between your teeth like a little elastic, and you're not wondering what is that, but that's the silver skin.
That's always looks good on a first date.
Every rib we prep, and we'll go through. Now we're going through about 8 to 10 cases every couple of days of ribs, and there's about 12 ribs racks per case. So. Our ribs, people are really enjoying the way that they come out of the pit. So what we do is we take a knife and we take all of this off. We trim off as much fat as we can. We pull the silver skin off, and then we take our rub that we make and we sprinkle it on like this, and then we put it in whole like this. When it comes out of the pit cooked, what we do is we trim off the ends and the end over here, so you have a nice rack down the middle. So you get a nice consistency of rib where the meat doesn't really fall off the bone, but when you bite it, it just comes off very easily.
Well, that's incredible. That is incredible. And it's, you know what? How would you categorize this barbecue? Because you hear Louisiana style, you hear Kansas City style.
Yeah.
Is it a mix of it?
Well, this is more. This is more a mix between Kansas and Memphis.
Okay.
Whereas when you get into Texas, for example, they barbecue on mesquite. Mesquite is a wood that burns very hot, so they tend to have open pits and cook their meat there much more quickly than we would on a low and slow version, as they do in Tennessee and the Carolinas and in that area. The regional differences is not so much the way the meat is cooked, because everybody cooks low and slow, but it's the type of sauces they put on.
Okay.
So some areas will have a more mustard, runny type of sauce. Some have a more tomato-based, stickier,
I had no idea
sweeter
there's so much to
type of sauce.
barbecuing.
There's quite a bit. There's quite a bit. Yeah.
Barbecueology. It's a
Yeah.
science.
Yeah.
It is now you brought down. We're going to continue this, obviously,
Yeah.
but you brought down a couple different samples here, Jocelyne. What are we looking at?
This is the pulled pork sandwich with a side of pit beans, and then here we have a sliced brisket sandwich with a side of coleslaw.
And you also, I had the chopped brisket yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can have the brisket chopped, which it adds a lot more flavor. And then
It's fabulous. It's
Yeah,
fabulous.
it is.
And your potato salad's great. You do it all your own over there.
We
Yes.
make everything from scratch every morning.
Every morning?
Every
Every
morning,
morning.
Oh, my
all
goodness.
our dressings for the potato salad, for the coleslaw, our fries are all hand cut. There's no corners. We don't cut any corners. Everything is, it's not out of the freezer into a fryer onto your plate. Everything is handled. It's very labor intensive, but the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, 5 times in a week. Yeah. Do I have a problem? Maybe I need to join a group. I don't know. But you're going to come back a little later on. We're going to find out more about this great restaurant and continue our smoking.
Absolutely.
All right.
Perfect.
Well,
Thanks.
I'm getting hungry. So anyway, we're going to check out the weather, see if it's a great day for a barbecue. Heather Steele.